All right, so if you've been anywhere near the internet lately, you have definitely seen this little guy. You know, the fuzzy, kind of toothy creature that has just taken over. Today, we're going to dive into the whole Labubu phenomenon, how this monster keychain went from a pretty niche collectible to an absolute global sensation. So what is this thing really? And why is everyone, and I mean everyone, suddenly obsessed with it? We're going to break down the entire story for you, from where it started to its kind of shocking arrival in the world of high-end art. And I'm not kidding when I say they're everywhere. They're hanging off of luxury designer bags, they're all over your TikTok feed, and trying to get one online? Good luck. It's basically a race against the clock before they completely sell out. Okay, let's just talk about how wild this craze has gotten. Online, they're gone in a blink. In actual stores, it's even crazier. Picture this. One shop had a line with more than 70 people waiting for just 36 items. You've got K-pop superstars like Lisa from Blackpink rocking them, and some fans are so dedicated they literally take their Labubus on vacation, snapping pictures of them all over the world. So we've seen the hype, right? It's nuts. But what's the actual story behind it all? To really get it, we need to go beyond the trend and, peel back the fur a little bit to find out what this monster is all about. And the whole story really comes down to one person. To understand Labubu, you have to meet the artist who created it. Because you'll see, this isn't just some random toy that came out of a factory, it's the creation of an artist with a super personal story to tell. And that artist's name is Kasing Lung. This quote from him, it explains everything. For him, it is all about the story. These creatures aren't just plastic and fluff, they're actual characters with their own lives in a much, much bigger world. So Kasing Lung's journey actually started way back when he was a lonely kid growing up in a small town in the Netherlands. He found his escape in drawing and watching cartoons, and that love for cartoons is exactly what sparked him to create the Monsters universe back in 2015. And guess who the very first character was? Yep, Labubu. The early vinyl toys got pretty popular, but it was this plush keychain in 2024 that just made the whole thing explode into a must-have fashion item. So what is the Monsters universe? Well, Lung says to think of it kind of like the Smurfs. It's this huge, sprawling world with tons of different characters, and no single one is the main star. Every monster has its own unique story. And that signature toothy grin, that was completely on purpose. He wanted them to stand out and look a little bit mischievous. Now, whenever something gets this popular with this much demand, you know what happens next, right? Fakes. The counterfeit market is a huge problem, and learning how to spot one has become a really big deal for collectors. The fan community even has this cute little nickname for the fakes, Lafufus. But trust me, while the name is cute, if you're a real collector hunting for the real deal, accidentally getting a Lafufu is a huge letdown. All right, so I'm going to give you the official cheat sheet for spotting a fake. First, look at the ears on a real Labubu. They should point just a little bit inward, not straight up. The teeth are a dead giveaway. A real one has exactly 9, and they're painted cleanly. But the most important thing is the QR code. A real one scans to the official Pop Mart website. A fake one will have a broken link or take you to some knockoff site. So here's your super fast guide. 1. Count those teeth. It's the easiest and fastest check. 2. Feel the fur. The real deal is super soft and plush. Fakes feel kind of coarse and cheap. 3. Check the weight. An authentic one has some heft to it, It feels substantial, not like an empty can. But again, your ultimate proof is scanning that QR code. It's your best friend here. And you might be wondering, why do people care so much about fakes? Well, it's because this is so much more than just owning a toy. There's a massive culture around it. A lot of these are sold in blind boxes, so you don't know which one you're gonna get. It's like a lottery, which is super addictive. Plus, fans love to customize them, and there are huge communities on Reddit and TikTok where people share their awesome custom designs. For these collectors, how you display your collection is everything. So, okay, we've got a viral toy, a huge collector community, but this is where the story takes a really wild turn. We're about to go from the toy aisle straight to the high-stakes world of a fine art auction house. And to get why this is even possible, you have to look at the money behind it all. The toy collectibles market was worth $12.5 billion in 2023, and it's projected to shoot past $20 billion by 2032. We are talking about a serious, serious business. So on the one hand, you have this, a popular Labubu keychain. It'll cost you about $30. Pretty accessible, fun, totally normal, right? Okay, now hold that $30 number in your head, because on the other side of things, a painting by the same artist, Kasing Lung, featuring these same characters, sold at a Christie's auction for over $100,000. Let that sink in. And this is the mind-blowing part of the whole thing. Labubu is basically living a double life. It's a mass-market toy you can literally get from a vending machine, but it's also the subject of investment-grade fine art being sold at places like Sotheby's. That dual identity? It's incredibly rare. That just doesn't happen.
So this leap from a simple toy to, well, a treasure, it brings us to a much bigger idea. Because the Labubu craze isn't just happening in a vacuum. It taps into this timeless, very human passion for collecting things. This is not just a 2024 fad.
And I love this quote because it really puts it all into perspective. The act of collecting, that personal passion you feel for finding and owning objects, that is literally the foundation of how the world's greatest museums got started. What begins on someone's shelf can end up defining a culture.
Think about it. It doesn't matter if it's an aristocrat in the 1600s buying up paintings or a fan today arranging their Labubu collection on a pegboard. The impulse is the same. It's about building your own little world, sharing that passion with other people, and just finding joy in the things that speak to you.
Which leaves us with one big final question. Is Labubu just a flash in the pan, today's hot thing that'll be replaced next year? Or, because it bridges that gap between a mass-produced toy and fine art, does it represent something totally new? A new kind of cultural artifact for our times? I guess that's something we'll all just have to watch and see. Thanks for digging into this with me.